discussion. I'm so excited this evening because not only do we have our lovely moderator, Jen Cammann, joining us, but we also have a whole bevy of authors who are just really excited to talk about what they do, what they're reading right now, and what inspires us to keep writing. So I just would like to start by introducing myself. I'm Mindy Killgrove. I'm here in Orlando, Florida, and my screen is a little bit fuzzy in the background today, but I think we might get a storm later. So that could be fun. This October, I'm really focusing on my cozy mystery stories, but as you all know, I also write sweet romances and historical fiction. I'd like to pitch it now to Stacy. Would you like to tell us about yourself?
Hi, thanks, Mindy, and thanks, Jen. I write under the pen name Stacy Wilder. I write cozy mysteries featuring private investigator Liz Adams and her truth detecting Labrador Retriever Duke. I'm currently working on the sixth book in the series. The first one is Charleston Conundrum, which maybe see that in the background. Never know which way to turn, but yeah. So Colorado Conundrum is the sixth book that I'm working on right now.
Very cool. How about you, Erica?
Yeah, so my name is Erica Whelton, and I'm calling in from near Houston, Texas. It's a big area, so just say Houston. I write cozy mystery. I have currently 2 series that are out. I have one that will be coming out in November. And then I also write women's fiction and paranormal suspense.
Thanks for joining us. And Jen, down to you.
Hi, I'm Jen Dodrill. I live just outside of Memphis, Tennessee. So we're kind of going through the storm thing. Probably not what you have in Orlando, but on and off here. I have a cozy mystery series out, the third book and final in the series comes out in February. And so I've been doing edits on that and getting ready. I was actually just working on the cover reveal for that one. I also have romantic suspense that one came out in June and one comes out next year, and a women's fiction that I hope to publish next year.
Very busy. Excellent. And Lindsey, take us home.
Hi, I'm Lindsey Bussie. I'm from Janesville, Wisconsin. I just finished or just published my first cozy mystery October 1st, and then I'll have my second one coming out in November. They're all sort of seasonally themed with fall, and then the November one will be Thanksgiving, and then I'll have one more in December with a Christmas themed cozy mystery. I'll do those 3 cozy, and then I'm gonna switch genres to I don't know. I have 2 that I want to switch to, so I have to decide, but I really want to try my hand at sci-fi. So we'll see. I also really like doing short stories and nonfiction. I'm all over the place, so that's what I like doing.
Well, Jen, you've got your work cut out for you tonight as you dive into the questions with us, because we're all over the place representing so many different genres, but it's a pleasure to have you all here. So thank you.
And I'm going to go ahead and get us all started. I'm just going to pitch out the question, and whoever would like to answer can go ahead. I'll probably call on someone to get them started. And then if you want to pop in, that's fine. And I'll just try to bring everybody into the conversation at some point. So the first question is your genre. For this month, we're focusing on the cozy mystery. So why the cozy mystery? Why do you write that? Or what do you enjoy about writing a cozy mystery? And I'm going to start with Lindsey for this one.
I'm a vibe reader, and it turned out I was also a vibe writer without realizing it. And so I just really liked all the feelings that came with a cozy mystery and the quirky characters and that small town feeling. And it also just kind of ran parallel to my life, where I kind of live in a small town, and we have some cozy vibes going on here. So it just felt fun and easy for me to write.
Nice. Erica, how about you?
Okay, so my story is a little funny. I was writing women's fiction, and one of my aunts said, "Have you ever tried cozy mystery?" And I'm like, I don't even actually read that. So I started reading some, and I went, "Yeah, I could do that." And that's So and then I've just run with it because I really enjoy the characters, the different little quirks and small town. And I just love creating that. So most of my books are now cozy mystery versus women's fiction, which I've kind of put on the back burner.
It's funny how sometimes that works out. Surprise.
Yeah.
All right, Jen, how about you?
I agree with Lindsey and Erica. It's that cozy feeling. I love putting animals in my story. So cozy mystery, animals, they kind of, you can see, I guess it's on this, I'm like you, Stacy. It's on this side. I have animals all over, bears, a Snoopy, whatever. But I love that because it's a good mix of some humor in there with the mystery, and that's one of the things I really love about cozy mystery because I like to have that humor in there.
And Stacy?
Erica, I think I forgot to mention that I'm from Houston too. So yeah, so we're neighbors. So funny story, when I first started on my writing journey, one of the things I did was set some goals, and I joined a writers group called League of Romance Writers, and I entered their Emily contest, and I entered my what's now Charleston Conundrum into the romantic suspense category. And it's a great contest because they give you feedback. And they said, Stacy, this is not romantic suspense. You've got a cozy mystery here. And I was like, oh, okay, that's great. I like mysteries. So that's kind of how I got into the cozy mystery genre.
Nice. Another like surprise. You're writing this all of a sudden.
Yep.
Mindy, how about you?
For me, cozy mysteries, it's all about being the armchair sleuth. I like when I'm able to follow along with the amateurs and figure things out. And it doesn't matter if I'm reading it or I'm watching it or even when I'm writing it. I like it when things easily get pieced together. And even if there's a really fun twist at the end, I think that makes the experience so much more exciting because as the person who's reading at home, you're like, I thought I had that all figured out. And I feel like that's why cozies speak to so many readers because it's fun to try to move along with the plot and figure out those conflict resolutions.
Nice. And as a reader of cozy mysteries, I concur that is a fun thing to do and very like low risk. It's not like a thriller where like you're scared to death half the time about what the twist is going to be. So I appreciate that. Mindy, so you kind of led into this next question about your favorite tropes within this genre. And Mindy did give me some for y'all to think about. So amateur sleuth, female detective, small town setting, which I'm picking up on that as a commonality. Unlikable victim, animal sidekick. Those are just a few, but let's dig into the tropes within the genre. So, Mindy, I'm just going to kick it back to you on that one.
Okay. Well, it's really, some people call it its own subgenre. Some people say it's a trope, but culinary cozy mysteries are so big and they're so enjoyable. For me, when I got started writing mine, I wanted to do culinary cozy, but because I live in Florida and I decided to create a fictional beach in Florida, I thought, what do Floridians need? We need yummy drinks. So all of my titles, all of my stories, instead of having a cool recipe, they have a cool drink that goes along with them, whether it's milkshakes or I pumpkin punch for this season. I tried to use the culinary bit.
Nice. Does anyone else throw in some of the culinary bits of the genre?
Yeah, so two of my series are actually culinary. So I have one that's called the Alphabet Soup Mysteries, and it's going to end up being a 26 book series because it's going to follow the alphabet. Excuse me. So Gumbo and Grudges is where I'm at now, and it will be released in December, actually on my dad's birthday. And then I'm in the process of writing Honey and Homicides, which will come out sometime next year. And then my new series that's going to come out in a couple of weeks is Barbecue. So Hill Country, Texas, if anybody's familiar, it's going to take place in a fictional town there, and it's all surrounded with barbecue.
Fun.
That is so fun. And you're going to be busy for a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I have it on my whiteboard that you can't see it's
Yep.
this way, and it takes me into like 2030 or something.
I'm sure that is a lot of writing to do. And it's going to be interesting when you're all the way done with it, if you or any of your readers will be able to go through and name the titles in order
Yeah,
at the end.
I can cheat. I can look at my whiteboard.
Right? Yeah, that's the only way I would be able to do it. Okay, so let's get back into the tropes. Stacy, your favorite kind of trope, or is there a trope that you stick to when you write?
Well, my main character is a private investigator, so female detective, and then also the animal sidekick. And I also have recipes and playlists in my books, so that's always fun to like choose a recipe that goes with a story or choose a song that goes with and throw a little humor in there with whatever song I choose. And so I really enjoy that.
Nice. And speaking of animals, Jen, I'm going to go to you. I feel like
Yeah.
that's where we're heading.
Yeah. So my Cozy Mystery series has a Weimaraner. His name is Charlie Brown, and a parakeet. Oh, see, I think at first when I first wrote it, I called it a canary, and I'm like, wait, I don't think that's gonna work because he had to talk, and so I think I changed him to a parakeet. Anyhow, he's a yellow parakeet. His name is Roscoe. But yeah, I love using the animals. I think that's definitely my favorite trope, or kind of like what Minnie said, it kind of a subcategory, or those animal they're not sleuths, but kind of
The
quite
little
a big part.
stick.
Yeah.
Nice. Lindsay, how about you?
Um, I love the thematic things that go with cozy mystery. So if it's culinary or if it's an animal or really I love the theme or a holiday or whatever. I really love the themes. And there's one trope that I want to play around with, but you have to be a really good planner. And I'm not at that level yet to plan that much, but I really love when the murder weapon was there all along and you don't find out until the end. And I think that's so fun when it's like, oh my gosh, it was there the whole time. So that's one that I would love to dive into sometime. And I love a good story where it gets revealed that it was there the whole time.
I love that. Again, as a reader, that's exciting. Like that's a twist that you like to take. It's not like, oh no, like this has just gone crazy. Like that's fun to discover. Erica, I know you mentioned your culinary side, but did you want to go into any other tropes that you enjoy writing?
I don't know if it's really a trope or not, but I found family is big for especially my alphabet soup story. So she doesn't have a strong family bond. So she's kind of created this whole family. And to me, that's just like a fun element of that story. Um, yeah, so I don't know. Animals, I love animals. I haven't put that many in my books because I don't want to forget that they're there. Like, what happened to that dog that you talked about at the beginning? Yeah, so just what everybody said.
Nice. And actually, Erica, I'm going to stick with you and we're going to shift into the supernatural because sometimes that comes out in a cozy mystery. So, and I know you and I think Lindsay had also mentioned dabbling in the supernatural in your stories a little bit. So, Erica, do you want to tell us more?
Yeah, so my very first series is called Medium with a Heart. And as the title suggests, she's a psychic medium. And you would think, well, why can't the ghost just tell her who killed them? Well, you have to build that in and make it, you have to set up the rules for how their magic or the paranormal works in your story. So I had it where they kind of have this brain fog where they don't really know what happened right up to and right after. It's kind of a blackout period. So that was kind of fun to write. Yeah, so I just love paranormal. I know not everybody believes, but I've had paranormal experiences, which led me to write that series.
Cool. And Lindsay, did you mention anything with paranormal before?
I didn't. I didn't, but
Oh,
that's okay. That's okay. I love to read paranormal. I love the variety that comes with it. Like, as long as an author creates the rules, like you never know why they're talking to ghosts or why they're not or whatever. I think that's a really fun thing to read. I haven't, maybe at some point I will. I haven't, it's not on the docket, but I love to read them.
Nice. Did
It's fun to write.
did anyone else have any parts of paranormal supernatural going on? Or did we cover our bases there?
I
Okay.
infused a little bit of it because one of my characters is quite like myself, where I say I'm wildly superstitious, and so I infused that throughout the series. And then in book 5, there's the potential for a ghost to be wandering around town, because I think that it's possible. So I like to play with that a little bit in the mystery.
Nice little hints. I like it. So let's talk about how your characters meet their doom in your stories. Do you have a certain way that you have that happen? Like, is it poison typically, or is it weapons? Let's get into how that works. Mindy, go ahead.
Well, in my Cozy Mystery series, because I want my readers to want to live in Buenaventura Beach with me and the characters, I try not to actually put a murder in every story. So sometimes my Cozy Mysteries don't have a murder at all. For instance, the first book in the series is a missing person. And I so for me, I don't really think there is a weapon of choice or a certain go-to, but I do love poisons because I'm an Agatha Christie girl at heart, and she was just the master at using those poisons.
So true. Stacy, how about you?
So mine don't always have murder either. The first book in the series, Charleston Conundrum, is a murder. The second book, Carmel Conundrum, is about identity thefts. And then the third book, The Christmas Conundrum, which is a novella, is about thefts that happen at Christmas time from a event planning business in Charleston, South Carolina. The fourth book, Cayman Conundrum, an author dies because his manuscript is too close to the truth. And then the fifth book, A Camping Conundrum, which is also a novella, they find a dead body in the lake. So yeah, some of them have murders and some of them don't. Colorado Conundrum is my next book. It's definitely going to have a murder. And my books usually have a main plot and a subplot.
And it sounds like you kind of mix up the deaths, not only space them apart, but it could be different each time you encounter one. So that's cool. Keep it interesting.
Yeah.
Jen, how about you?
well, first of all, I am loving your cat, Lindsay.
Only during meetings does she
Right.
do this.
Right. I
course.
know. That's why I had to close the door because mine would be in here doing the same thing with his tail right here, right? Like a little mustache. Love it. What do we, dead bodies. Yeah. I get picked on because I like to kill people like in books. Okay. So I'll watch, we watch, how many of you watch the crime shows, true crime or the serial killer? Okay, all of us. And I'm like, ooh, I could use that. I scribble it down, how can I kill somebody next? So yeah, my cozies all have dead people. I think this third one might only have one actually, but yeah. So I'm actually working on a romantic suspense right now, and it's a mystery. There's no dead body, nobody dies, and so that's really challenging for me because that's what I'm used to doing is writing people off.
Love it. Erica, how about you?
Yeah, so I pretty much kill lots of people. I want to not do that as much, but I can't help it. It's just,
It's fun.
it's fun. Yes, it's fun. And what you were saying about the watching crime shows and taking notes, I saw years ago, not that long, I guess, but years ago, an article about somebody that filled up one of those yoga balls with a poisonous gas and then had it explode in the person's car.
Okay.
And it killed them. And I was like, oh, writing that down.
That's a good idea.
Right? So feel free to get tapped.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm always taking notes. And so in my most recent, the one I'm working, my current work in progress, Honey and Homicide, they actually kill honeybees this time instead of a person. And it makes me sad to say that, but I feel like it's a little bit of a different murder.
I'm glad it's just honeybees and there's no like dogs or cats. So
No, I
we'll
would
allow
never
it.
kill a dog or a cat
No.
and I really didn't want to kill the bees either, but for the story.
It's all for the story. It's okay.
For the story.
It's
And they're
allowed.
fictional bees.
Good. And Lindsey.
In my first one, Where the Apples Lie, it was with weapons, a murder with a weapon. There's also a burglary going on, which is kind of like the red herring. You kind of want to think that they're related and they're not. The second one that I'm working on is a poison, which is, I don't know why it's a different form of plotting, but it is for me. I think you just have to be more strategic with how your main character finds the poison, and like its traceability and all of that. So that was a really interesting, kind of fun way to do it. And then at my third one, all I know is it involves a train. Like I don't know if someone's going to get hit by a train or like I don't know those parts yet, but I just know it's going to involve a train somehow, and that somebody will die. And at some point I want to stop killing people, but I also have a running list of crazy ways that people have died where you're like, oh, we should write that down. And I joked like, I hope no one finds this list of like how people die, because it seems very suspicious.
Right.
Okay. I need to ask this
Uh-oh.
question. This might be a good ending question, Mindy. And
Okay.
Mindy, why don't you start?
Sorry, I didn't hear it. It cut out a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
What's
okay.
your favorite story you've ever written? Did you catch that?
I heard that. Yes. That's so difficult. Favorite story I've ever read or ever written?
Ever written?
Ooh, okay. That is a tough one. So I think it's probably for me, as far as my cozy mysteries is concerned, book 6 in the series is entitled Habanero Swigs and Hurricane Force Winds. So here in Florida, and really, I mean, other parts of the country as well, we're always worried about hurricanes when the season starts till when it ends. I mean, everybody's got their prep going on. So it seems like, as Lindsey said in that first couple chapters, it seems like the hurricane is going to be the big to-do. But what happens is my gang who hang out in Buenaventura Beach, they actually leave. They have to flee because of an oncoming hurricane, and they wind up in a rental house together, 20 people in a house together. So you know there's going to be lots of tension, and there is a murder while they are there together trying to seek shelter. So I really love that story. It was so much fun to write. And it's one of those that I made kind of like a choose your own adventure ending. So if readers pick that one up, there are 3 conclusions and they can choose which one they like the best.
And what was the title of that one again? I'm adding that to my list.
Okay, it's number 6 in the series, and it's Habanero Swigs and Hurricane Force Winds. The habanero swig is kind of like a spicy margarita.
Love it. Okay, Lindsey, favorite story you've ever written?
There's 2. One, they're both short stories. I really wanted to experiment with an unlikable main character. I didn't think it was possible. But I really wanted to challenge myself to create an unlikable main character. And so it's a short story about a young person that does a skincare routine that slowly kind of eats away at her own skin. And she starts selling it to her other friends, and so she can make money off of them. And she should not sell it, but she just loves that she's making money. So she's like knowingly damaging other people's skin. So I just liked that I was able to challenge myself like that. I can't, it was just fun to write, to think kind of outside the box in that way. But one of my absolute favorites is a short that I wrote where the main character, you don't understand, it's an unreliable narrator. So you don't know what it is. And it's this character that's talking about his partner and they're going on to this short story. And then you find out that it's a stuffed animal. And his partner is like the little girl, and it's like how she's mean and she drops him and she doesn't care about him and she doesn't talk. So like all you're kind of wondering like what is going on with these two, and they kind of sound like a cantankerous old couple. And then in the reveal in the end, you find out that he's an old stuffed bear.
Oh, that's hilarious. The twist no one saw coming. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, Stacy, what's your favorite story you've ever written?
So I think Cayman Conundrum, which is the fourth book in the series. I had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun writing every single book, but this one, I initially met an author who told me, who was a mentor early on, and she told me, Stacy, I wrote this book that was set in the islands, but I can never release it because if it did, it would get me killed. So I was like, oh, I'm going to run with that. So she gave me the idea, and then I was very fortunate. It was a serendipity thing that I found this expert on money laundering, and he offered to do a beta read of the book for me, a light beta read. But he's a very busy guy. And so anyway, it was just a lot of fun to write. It was fun, imagining the Caymans, writing about the Caymans, the settings, incorporating songs that, fit and recipes that fit. And with every book, I do a launch party at a local place here in Houston, and I'll also serve recipes from the book, and it's always a lot of fun.
That does sound fun. Do you play music from the playlist too?
Of course.
Love
And
that.
I have book trailers too, so yeah, I'll play the book trailer.
So fun. Okay, Erica, what's the most favorite story you've ever written?
Okay, so it's not cozy exactly. It's my paranormal suspense called The Haunting of Anna Rose, and it follows two women. So basically, the hook is two women separated by more than 100 years, haunted by the same man. And so it follows Anna Rose, who was her story takes place in the 1880s. She marries this man that she doesn't know very well and moves from Virginia to Texas. And it's her dream. She's just in heaven until it's not, and he changes, and her story goes from there. Then we follow Lindsey in the story, and it's present day, and she is, she's gotten laid off from her job. Her husband says, hey, I'm in love with somebody else, and so she happens to end up in the same place, take over like that Anna Rose's home, and she looks like her, a doppelganger of her. And so the ghost of her abusive husband is now haunting Lindsey in the present day. So it goes back and forth between the two points of view. And it's hands down my favorite story I've ever written. And the only one my mother has read all the way through.
It must be good then, right?
Yeah, got mom's stamp of approval.
Right. Good. And then Jen, how about you?
Well, first of all, like before, I asked Lindsey about her cat. So, Stacy, did you find this money laundering guy somewhere? How'd you find him?
Just via the web. I did a search and I reached out to him, and
That is so funny.
yeah.
Were you a little creeped out?
Not really. I was like, it felt like serendipity.
Okay.
Yep.
I think that's cool. It's funny who you meet in this line.
It is doing research. Yeah.
My favorite, it's funny that Lindsey brought up some short stories. My very favorite that I've written was the very first one I wrote that has gone through major overhaul, and it's the women's fiction that I hope to publish next year because it deals with addiction. And so it's just something that is really dear to my heart. And but then I also wrote a short story, and it's kind of like a cozy mystery, but it's only 5,000 words. That was a challenge. Like Lindsey was talking about, writing tight like that when you're not used to that is such a challenge. And I really enjoyed that because my main character is Mrs. Claus. And she's going through kind of that point, as a more mature woman, that we compare ourselves to other people, and maybe we're dealing with some insecurities. I guess women actually do that all the time, right? Dealing with some insecurities, and she runs into a girl that she used to bully in high school. And she's actually, that woman is over the reindeer. So it's very Christmas themed. It totally is, and there's elves and reindeer, and it's silly, but it also incorporates that little bit of what we think of ourselves as women and how we get past putting ourselves down and dealing with how we used to be not so nice, maybe.
Interesting, and something completely relatable for,
Right.
like you said, probably every woman can relate to that on some level. So that's pretty cool. So, Mindy, I'm going to throw it back to you because at this point, I'm ready to wrap up for the night, unless you have anything else for us.
No, that's Lindsay. Did you get to say what your favorite was?
I did.
Okay,
Thank you.
great. Sorry. Thank you all for being here this evening. I think it is just the most fun you can possibly have when you get a group of writers and readers in a room together. And I know we're not in a room, but it feels like we are. So thank you for connecting with